You're at Target, standing in the shoe aisle. You need new work shoes. Your current ones are falling apart. There's two options in front of you. Option 1, $42. They look decent, black, professional enough, they'll work. Option 2, $135. Better leather, better construction, definitely nicer. But that's $135. And you're thinking, I don't have $135 to spend on shoes right now, but I do have $42. So you grab the $42 pair, walk to the register feeling smart. You just saved $93.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Except you didn't save $93. You spent $42. And 6 months from now, when those shoes are destroyed and you're back at Target buying another $42 pair, you'll have spent $84. A year from now, after your third pair, you'll have spent $126, more than the quality shoes. But you'll tell yourself you're being smart with money. You're buying what you can afford. Here's what nobody tells you. Cheap isn't affordable. Cheap is expensive.
What?
It's just expensive slowly. And by the time you realize it, you've spent twice as much and you're still replacing the same thing over and over.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
My name is Mike, and I used to be the king of buying cheap, and it kept me broke for years. If you've ever chosen the cheaper option to save money and then had to replace it 3 months later, hit that subscribe button because I'm about to show you why saving money is making you poor and how to actually stop the cycle. Let me tell you about two people, Alex and Jordan. They're both 27, both live in Austin, both make about $58,000 a year. 3 years ago, they both moved to Austin for work. Both needed to furnish apartments, buy work clothes, get tools and supplies, starting from the same place. Same budget constraints, about $3,800 take home per month after taxes. Here's what you need to know about how they think about money. Alex's philosophy is simple. Always buy the cheapest version that works. Why pay more when the cheap one does the same thing? Every purchase, he looks for the lowest price. That's how you save money. That's how you build wealth. Spend less. Jordan's philosophy is different. Buy quality once or buy cheap forever. If something is going to be used regularly, buy the good version. Yes, it costs more upfront, but it's cheaper long term. 3 years ago, I started tracking both of them, what they bought, what they spent, what they had to replace. And what I found is going to change how you think about every purchase you make. Because on paper, Alex should be way ahead. He spends less on everything. But the math tells a completely different story. Let's start with work shoes, because that's where this becomes really clear. 3 years ago, Alex bought work shoes at Target. $39. Looked fine, professional enough. Wore them 5 days a week to his office job. 6 months later, the sole was separating. The heel was worn down. They looked terrible. Back to Target. Another pair. $42 this time. Prices went up a little. 6 months after that, same thing. Falling apart. Another pair. $45 now. Over 3 years, Alex bought work shoes 6 times. $39, $42, $45, $48, $52. Total spent on work shoes, $274. Jordan bought work shoes 3 years ago at a different store. Allen Edmonds, $385. Yes, $385 for one pair of shoes. Alex thought he was insane. But here's what happened. Jordan wore those shoes 5 days a week for 3 years. After 18 months, he got them resold. Cost $125. After 3 years, they still look good. He'll probably get another 2-3 years out of them before needing another resole. Total spent so far, $510. But here's the math. Alex spent $274 and his shoes look like garbage. He's about to buy pair number 7. Jordan spent $510 and his shoes still look professional. He won't need new shoes for another 2 years minimum. Cost per year. Alex is spending $91 per year. Jordan is spending $102 per year. But his shoes look better, last longer, and he's not at Target every 6 months. Plus, here's what Alex doesn't calculate. Every trip to Target for shoes, he spends another $47 on other stuff. He went for shoes. But while he's there, he grabs snacks, sees something on sale, buys random things. 6 trips to Target for shoes equals $282 in impulse purchases. Jordan made one trip, spent $385, Done for 3 years. No impulse purchases. When you add it all up, Alex spent $556. Jordan spent $510. Alex spent more and has worse shoes. That's the cheap trap. Now let's look at tools, because this is where it gets really expensive. 2 years ago, Alex needed a drill. He was going to hang some shelves, maybe do a few small projects around his apartment. He went to Harbor Freight, found a cordless drill for $29. Perfect. Why spend more? It's just a drill. Used it to hang the shelves. Worked fine. 3 months later, he needed to drill into a stud. Drill couldn't handle it. Burned out, dead. Back to Harbor Freight. Another drill. $34. This one lasted 6 months. Then the battery stopped holding a charge. Another drill. $38. This one's been okay, but it's weak. Struggles with any real work. Over 2 years, Alex bought drills 3 times. $29, $34, $38. Total, $101. Plus, he wasted hours going to the store, returning the broken ones, dealing with frustration. Jordan needed a drill the same time. He went to Home Depot, looked at the cheap ones, looked at the quality ones. Bought a DeWalt 20V drill kit, $179. Yes, almost $180 for a drill. Alex laughed at him. You got scammed, man. It's just a drill. 2 years later, Jordan's drill works perfectly. Hasn't had a single issue. Battery still holds charge. He's used it for probably 30 different projects. It's never let him down. Cost per use, maybe $6. Alex has spent $101 on drills that barely work, and he still doesn't have a reliable drill. He's about to buy his 4th one. The cheap drill costs him more in money, in time, in frustration. But he keeps buying cheap because that's what he can afford. Here's where the psychology gets interesting, and this is what keeps people trapped. Alex doesn't see $101 spent on drills over 2 years. He sees $38 spent on a drill last month. Each purchase feels small, affordable, smart even. He's saving money by buying the cheap one. The expensive drill is $179. He can't afford that, but he can afford $38. What he doesn't see is the pattern. He's bought 3 drills for $101 and none of them work well. He could have bought 1 drill for $179 and been done. But the pain of spending $179 all at once feels worse than spending $38.30 separate times, even though $101 is more than half of $179. And he still doesn't have a good drill. Behavioral economists call this mental accounting. We feel the pain of one big purchase more than the pain of multiple small purchases. Even when multiple small purchases add up to more, a $200 purchase feels expensive. $450 purchases feel reasonable. Even though 4 times $50 is $200, our brains are bad at aggregating. We see individual transactions, not lifetime costs. And retailers know this. That's why cheap products exist. Not because they're a good value, because they feel affordable in the moment. And when they break, you'll come back and buy another one. You're not a customer, you're a subscription, paying in installments for worse products. Let me show you the full 3-year breakdown, because when you add up all the categories, the difference is stunning. Furniture. Alex furnished his apartment with cheap stuff. IKEA desk, $79. Broke in 14 months. Bought another one, $89. Target bookshelf, $42. Sagging after 6 months. Replaced it. $55. Cheap couch from Facebook Marketplace. $220. Springs died in 18 months. Had to throw it out. Bought another used couch. $280. Total furniture spending over 3 years. $1,147. Jordan bought quality used furniture from estate sales. Solid wood desk. $240. Still perfect. Real wood bookshelf. $180. Still solid. Quality couch from a nice brand. Used. $650. Reupholstered the cushions for $280. Still looks great. Total furniture spending. $1,350. Jordan spent $203 more. But his apartment looks better. His furniture will last another 10 years. Alex's furniture looks cheap and he's replaced half of it already. Kitchen stuff. Alex bought cheap pans from Walmart, $38 for a set. Non-stick coating peeled off in 8 months. Bought another set, $44. Same thing happened. Bought individual pans, another $62. Cheap knives, $18. Don't stay sharp. Cut himself because the knife slipped. Bought better knives, $47. Total kitchen spending, $209. Jordan bought one good pan, $120. Cast iron skillet, $45. One good chef's knife, $80. Had the knife professionally sharpened once, $15 total, $260. Jordan spent $51 more, but his pan will last 20 years. His knife will last a lifetime. He's not replacing anything. Clothes. Alex buys cheap clothes. H&M, Old Navy, Target. Shirts for $12, pants for $28. They fade fast, shrink weirdly. Fall apart, he replaces his work wardrobe out every 14 months. Over 3 years, spent roughly $840 on work clothes. Jordan buys fewer pieces, better quality. Spent $380 on 4 pairs of good pants. $420 on 8 quality shirts. Total $800. But his clothes still look good after 3 years. He hasn't replaced anything. Cost per wear, Jordan's ahead. Add it all up over 3 years. Shoes, tools, furniture, kitchen, clothes. And I'm not even including everything. Just the major categories, Alex spent $2,591. Jordan spent $2,920. Jordan spent $329 more over 3 years. That's $110 per year, $9 per month, for significantly better quality of life. Better looking apartment, better functioning tools, better lasting clothes. And here's the kicker. Alex is about to start replacing things again. His desk is breaking, his pans are shot, his shoes are destroyed year 4. He'll spend another $800 to $1,000 replacing the same things. Jordan won't spend anything in year 4. He's done, his stuff works. Now let me show you the other side of cheap. The side that isn't about products. It's about mentality. And this is what really keeps people trapped. Alex doesn't just buy cheap products, he thinks cheap. Here's what I mean. Last year, Alex needed a haircut. His usual place charges $28. He found a place on Groupon for $12. Drove 25 minutes to get there. The haircut was terrible, uneven. Had to go to his regular place 2 days later to fix it. Spent $28 anyway, total cost. $40 plus an hour of driving. Saved nothing. Or food. Alex always buys the cheapest groceries. Store brand everything, which is fine for some things, but he buys the cheapest meat, lowest quality produce, and half of it goes bad before he uses it because cheap produce spoils faster. He throws away probably 20% of what he buys. Jordan buys better quality groceries, spends about 15% more per week, but throws away almost nothing. Because quality produce lasts longer, net cost is about the same. But Jordan eats better food or car maintenance. Alex waits until something breaks to fix it. He doesn't do preventative maintenance because it feels like wasting money. Last year, his car started making a noise. He ignored it for 2 months, saved money by not taking it in, until it completely broke. Repair cost $1,240. If he'd addressed it when it started, would have been $280. He saved $280 for 2 months, then spent $960 more. Jordan does regular maintenance, oil changes on time, gets weird noises checked immediately. Over 3 years, his car has had 0 major problems because he fixes small things before they become big things. The mentality of cheap isn't just about buying cheap products. It's about short-term thinking. It's about seeing price, not value. It's about spending $40 to save $20 and feeling smart about it. Here's what shifted for Jordan 3 years ago, and this is what changed everything. He was at the store buying work shoes, had the $42 pair in his hand, was about to buy them. Then he stopped and asked himself a different question. Not how much does this cost, but how much does this cost per use? The $42 shoes will last 6 months. He wears them 22 days per month. That's 132 uses. Cost per use, 32 cents. The $135 shoes will last 3 years, minimum. That's 792 uses. Cost per use, 17 cents. The expensive shoes are cheaper per use, half the cost actually. This blew his mind. He'd been thinking about it wrong his whole life. From that moment, he started thinking in cost per use. Is he going to use it a lot? Buy quality. Cost per use will be low. Is it something he'll use once? Buy cheap. Or better, borrow it. This simple shift changed everything. Kitchen knife he uses every day. Buy the $80 one. Cost per use over 10 years is about 2 cents. Insanely cheap. Hammer he'll use twice a year. Borrow it or buy the $15 one. Cost per use doesn't matter. Work bag he carries every day. Buy the $240 one that'll last a decade. Daily use, low cost per use. Gym bag he uses twice a week. Buy the $40 one, it's fine. He stopped trying to save money on everything, started investing in the things that matter, and spending less on things that don't. The result? He spends about the same as before, but owns better stuff that lasts longer, causes less stress, and he's not constantly replacing things. Now let me tell you what happened to Alex in the last 6 months, because this is where the cheap trap really reveals itself. His apartment is falling apart. The IKEA desk he bought 10 months ago is wobbling. The drawer doesn't close right. He's thinking about getting a new one, but he just spent $89 on this one. He feels stuck. Replace it and waste $89. Or keep using a broken desk. His cheap pans are scratched to hell. Food sticks, they're annoying to cook with. So he eats out more, spends $180 a week on food because cooking at home is frustrating. His work shoes look terrible, scuffed, worn. He feels self-conscious in meetings. His cheap drill died again. He's got a project he wants to do, but he doesn't want to buy another crappy drill. So the project just sits there, undone. His apartment looks cheap, because it is cheap. And he's surrounded by things that don't work well. And the worst part, he feels like he's being smart with money. He's buying the affordable options. He's not wasteful, he's being practical, but he's broke, still living paycheck to paycheck, spending money constantly, just in small amounts. Meanwhile, Jordan's apartment looks great. His stuff works. He's not at Target every other week. He's not thinking about what needs to be replaced. He's just living. His drill works. His shoes look professional. His pans make cooking easy. He spends less time shopping, less time fixing things, less mental energy managing broken stuff. He's not richer than Alex. He just spends his money differently. And the result is he has more time, more peace, more functioning things. Same income, completely different quality of life. Here's what you need to understand. The cheap trap isn't about being poor. It's about thinking poor. Rich people don't buy the most expensive version of everything, but they don't buy the cheapest either. They buy quality where it matters and save on what doesn't. Poor people buy cheap everything because they think that's how you save money. But cheap isn't saving. Cheap is spending slowly, on repeat, forever. The goal isn't to spend less. The goal is to buy less, but buy better. One good pan that lasts 20 years is cheaper than 10 cheap pans over 20 years. Even if the one good pan costs more upfront, one good pair of shoes that lasts 3 years is cheaper than 6 cheap pairs over 3 years. Even if the one good pair costs more upfront, you're not saving money by buying cheap. You're paying in installments for lower quality. That's not a deal, that's a trap. So here's what you do, starting today. First, stop saying the phrase saving money when you buy something cheap. You're not saving money. You're spending money. Saving money is not spending money. There's a difference. If you buy the $40 shoes instead of the $135 shoes, you didn't save $95. You spent $40. Second, before you buy anything, ask yourself cost per use. Am I going to use this all the time? Buy quality. Cost per use will be low. Am I going to use this rarely? Buy cheap or borrow it. Cost per use doesn't matter. This one question changes everything. Third, stop shopping at cheap stores for things that matter. If you need work shoes, don't go to Target. Go to a real shoe store. Yes, it's more expensive, but you'll buy 1 pair instead of 6. If you need a tool you'll use regularly, don't go to Harbor Freight. Go to Home Depot. Buy the mid-tier option. Not the cheapest, not the most expensive, the one that works. Fourth, when something breaks, ask why. Did it break because it was cheap? If yes, buy better next time. Did it break because you used it wrong? If yes, fix it and move on. Most things break because they were cheap, and we keep replacing them with the same cheap version. Break the cycle. Fifth, calculate the lifetime cost, not the upfront cost. How much will this cost over 5 years, including replacements? That's the real price. The sticker price is a lie. Look, I get it. When you're broke, buying the $135 shoes feels impossible. You literally don't have $135. You have $42. So you buy the $42 shoes. I've been there. But here's what I learned. If you have $42 but not $135, don't buy shoes today. Wait 2 weeks, save another $100. Then buy the $135 shoes, because those $42 shoes will be dead in 6 months. And you'll have to spend another $42 and another and another. You'll spend $252 over 18 months on shoes that look terrible. Or you can wait 2 weeks, save the extra $100, spend $135 once, and be done for 3 years. The patient choice is the cheaper choice. The rush to buy cheap is what keeps you spending. I'm not saying buy luxury. I'm saying buy quality. There's a difference. Quality is the thing that works well and lasts long. Luxury is the thing with a logo that costs 5 times what it should. You don't need luxury. You need quality. And quality is almost always cheaper than cheap. When you measure it over time, if this video changed how you think about buying things, smash that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me one thing you bought cheap that you had to replace multiple times. Let's see what everyone's wasted money on. No judgment. We've all done it. I'll see you in the next one. Let's get it.